Memphis Success, episode 18 with Kerry Thomas of Superior Custome Street Rods.
Traveling down the road of life. I mean, you know, you go in there bumps and curves and shit, but if I done been down that road, I'm going to tell you, well, Darnell, hey, stay to the right when you get to the 5 mile mark because what? The road got potholes over there.
Want to be successful in business? Listen to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Be prepared to be challenged and inspired to dream big and take immediate action now.
Okay, Memphis Go-Getters, welcome to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs, where your success is Memphis Success. I'm your host, Darnell Reed. Today, once again, I'm thrilled to have Mr. Kerry Thomas. He is the owner of Superior Custome Street Rods. He's been in business for the past 17 years, located in the downtown Memphis area. This is an auto body repair shop that he owns. He also handles custom cars. And I tell you what, I had an accident in my car, unfortunately, and I was able to take my car to Superior Custome Street Rods, and he was able to make it look like new. And so once again, I'm appreciative of him of the work that he has done. So I'm glad that he's on our show today just to share some great information with you. So Mr. Thomas, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How you doing?
Hey, I'm on top. Thank you for joining Memphis Success. Hey, I know you got a lot of knowledge and information to share with us. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So what is normally, I know you're a Memphian. I believe you're from the South Memphis area, right?
Yes, correct. That's it.
So what is normally the first thing that comes to your mind when you just think about the city of Memphis?
I think about the River Bluff, Riverside Drive, just, you know, the scene when you're coming into the city on Riverside Drive. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most picturesque thing that I can use to think about Memphis. That's why I tell everybody they need to go and see.
Now, when someone meets you for the first time, say you're at a networking event, and someone asks you, well, what do you do? How do you normally respond to that?
Most of the time, that I'm in the, the automotive industry, which is, that kind of gives you a vague picture because, what we do is pretty, widespread, a broad spectrum, I guess, So, some auto shops, just facilities, they just do certain repairs, maintenance like that. But, we go a little bit more in depth from, the basic auto maintenance repairs to the full restoration and, of a lot of vintage cars. So, so we cover kind of wide spectrum.
Yeah, I know you've had some cars into some movies or some shows. They definitely look great when you get them done. So I know, just like you were saying before, it's more than just auto repair. You do a lot dealing with custom cars, right?
Right. A lot of custom work. A lot of, I guess you call one-off cars. Sometimes cars are built to, customer specification, things that they dream of or things that they've seen in the past or things they've seen in movies and lights. So sometimes we get into a lot of that,
Okay, cool. So if you can, everybody has a beginning and has a story. So if you can, just take us back to the time when you really decided to take that leap of faith to become an entrepreneur, and what was going on in your life?
At that time, I come through the dealership. I put in 20 years at one of the local dealerships here in Memphis. So that gave me a lot of background, a lot of knowledge, I guess probably a lot of the educational background to go with the automotive industry. And I guess along the way, I always had a passion for older cars. So that was my thing. I always wanted to get into that. So that's kind of how I had to turn to get away from the newer cars that I was working on new cars and to really do the things that was my passion. And there was no one that I knew of in the city of Memphis that was doing that. So that's kind of what made me kind of go toward that, that field or that end of the automotive industry.
But let me ask you this, just to dig a little deeper, because I know we have several Memphis go-getters out there who, are currently working at a job. But what was that one thing that just says, hey, I'm finna leave this job now and go ahead and step out there and just be on my own? Did you prepare in advance, or did you just step out there?
I prepared a little bit in advance. You have that dream, so you kind of set aside, but you're never going to be 100% prepared for it.
Right.
So if it's something that you really want to do and you have that passion, that desire for it, then, you're going to have to kind of just step out there. So in a sense, I just kind of stepped out there because that's what I wanted to do. But, you have to have in mind, that, you still got to live at the same time. So, you need to make sure, you got some things that you got to consider,
Right. Well, wow. Now, in the beginning, or even currently, if you can, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, we go through ups and downs, and, don't want to make it always seem so rosy, as being entrepreneurs. So if you can you just tell us about one of the challenges, that you may have faced, or a disappointment, that you endured as an entrepreneur when you got started, and really just tell us how you were able to bounce back from it?
Well, one of the challenges that you're going to face is you'll be the first man there and the last one to leave just about every day. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. Everybody else going to be going home. You got to put in some hours and nobody else there. You're going to have to make up for some of that income that's not there. So you're going to have to do some work to kind of offset that. That maybe there's not enough, enough revenue or enough stuff, going on at a new business to support all the employees. So you're going to stay late to do some work so that you can have the revenue made or have it coming in, so that's part of the sacrifice.
Well, Memphis go-getters, as you hear that, hey, in the beginning, you're going to have to do some work yourself, as well as Kerry mentioned, sacrifice. And, sacrifice definitely, plays into being an entrepreneur. So would you say one of your biggest sacrifices was around the time that you spent up front?
Yes. I mean, you have to give a lot of time, and you're going to get out of it what you put in it. So, if you put a lot of time into it, in the beginning, then there'll be rewards in the end. The time that you put in the beginning, you'll get rewarded for it later on down the road, but, you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice, You're going to have your friends going to be saying, man, I'm going to a basketball game tonight. And man, you won't be able. So, but you just, in the end, though, it'll be worth it, though, if you really have a passion for what you're doing.
Well, let me ask you this. And a lot of times, once we get going in our businesses, there may be something that we learned, that really just helped us shift our business to the next level. So was there anything that, happened in your business that really just helped you just take it off and to another level where you gain so many more customers, or, is there anything? And I kind of call this our big shift or aha moment.
Yeah. Learning to, kind of broaden our spectrum. Sometimes we have a tendency to get into our own little box and and don't want to get out of our own comfort zone. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things. So one thing is getting out and trying to meet people that's affiliated with your industry, whether it's the manufacturer of parts and things like that. And sometimes when you get to meet those type of people or vendors and stuff like that, they will give you a better perspective sometime on the things that you should be doing and how you should be doing. And then, sometimes you'll get that aha moment then that, okay, so, I've been doing this all wrong or going about it all wrong.
So with your industry, what event did you go to, or were you able to network with other people?
Well, when we go to probably one of the bigger events is some of the larger sanctioned, car show events that's on the national level. And then that's where you really get to meet people that's in the industry, that's probably on a different, I guess, playing field where, some of the bigger names, some of the guys that's on some of the network television shows that's doing, the things that you're doing, you get a chance to meet them and, talk with them also about how they got started and how, they, progress, and a lot of the times you be thinking, but these people, a lot of them started on the same basis that you did, right. In the same way. Some of the guys started in their garages at home, fixing friends' cars and neighbors' cars. And, it just turns into sometimes, multi-million-dollar operation. But, there's an opportunity for everybody to, reach that plateau.
So Memphis Go-Getters, as you hear from Mr. Kerry Thomas, you got to go out and network. You need to look at the associations of the business that you're in. Start trying to connect with people, and you can connect with people who've probably been in the game longer than you, and then they can share that information with you that can help shift your business. So that is definitely very key there. So with that, Kerry, tell me this, today, I know you got a lot going on. I went to your shop. You got tons of cars there. So, but what is the one thing that you're most excited about today in your business?
The one thing that's probably most excited about is probably some of the exposure we've gotten this year from some of the car shows. I've got some articles where we've been featured in some of the trade magazines. We got some awards from the state of Tennessee, for some of the things that, we've done and participated in.
Okay, that's awesome.
Became part of the SEMA network, which is Specialty Equipment Manufacturing Association. And, like I said, when you get out and you start meeting different people and going to different events, then you become exposed to different people and you start networking. And those are things that can take you, like you say, to the next level easily, overnight.
So you think through the networking, that's how you were able to kind of get the recognition from those other events and networks there?
Right. Exactly. When you talking with people, like you say, that's in the industry, it's always, everybody is kind of curious on what the next person is doing in the same field that they're in. So by that token, no matter whether you're a small guy, you thinking you're a small guy, but what you're doing may be the next up and coming thing in the industry.
Okay.
So the people at the top, I always want to see what everybody's doing, no matter whether he's a guy with a shop with 2 employees and doing what he's doing versus a man with a shop or a business that has 100 employees. Because some of your greatest work in most industries come from some of the smaller smaller businesses because it's more passionate. Everybody is it's not cookie cutter type, setup where, it's about volume, speed. And some people, when they're smaller, that is passion. That's where those unique ideas and things like that usually evolve from.
Okay. Wow. I guess I never really even thought about, the bigger companies are looking at, say, the smaller companies, because the smaller companies are more nimble and not cookie cutter designed and are being more innovative, I guess, in the process.
Exactly. That's it. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to say one other thing. You listed all those other places that you're being featured in. Now, don't forget you're being featured in Memphis Success, man.
That's right. So here we go. That's it. Yes. Looking forward to it, man. So, yes, I'm telling you, another accolade. That's it. Yes, sir.
So with that being said, people lay out 3 to 5 year plans. What is your long-term vision for your business?
I guess my long-term thing for my business my next goal, I think I would like to actually teach this or be able to give what I know my experiences, my knowledge to be able to pass it on to someone else.
Okay, I think that's an awesome idea there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's a great, I feel it's a great industry, and I mean, it's really growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, a lot of people are away from it, but it's so advanced now. It's not just repair; it's technical. So it's a good field, and I mean, it's not a dying industry because, believe it or not, cars are not going anywhere.
And I'm pretty sure once they start flying, people still gonna want to customize them.
Still gonna want to customize them. That's it, man.
Well, hey, I believe that's definitely an awesome idea to, create information products to be able to share with other people who are interested in this industry, in this field. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about that in the near future. So with Kerry,
yes, sir.
I call this our lightning round of questions. And so we can just quickly run through these questions. The first question I always like to ask people was there anything holding you back from becoming an entrepreneur? And then how were you able to come over that?
The thing that held me back is fear and probably change. And to overcome that, you have to probably get yourself around positive people that you can talk to and that, encourage you, that maybe, believe in you and make you believe in yourself.
Awesome. Now, what is the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice that I've ever received was more for someone to say, to tell me, if you believe that you can do it, then you can do it.
All right. That's
simple as that. Try and, not make it something that's really overwhelming or nothing. Just really, if you believe in yourself, you can do it.
To stay motivated, a lot of times people read things, watch, or listen to stuff. What do you read or watch that helps keep you motivated and inspired?
Probably in my industry, a lot of the, automotive magazines, Street Rods, Muscle Car, just things like that, to see that other people are out here and, and doing building cars or making cars, repairing cars and making the one-off things, and just seeing how excited or how passionate somebody else is about it. It just keeps inspiring you to see that, the unlimited qualities or the things that people can dream up in their mind. So that's really just to make that next thing that makes people go, wow. Okay. That's what keeps you motivated.
Right now, I know you're in the automotive industry, and a lot of times people may not even realize just how technical it is in the things that you have and the tools and equipments that you use. But from a productivity standpoint, is there a certain online website or application or app or tool that you use to help you be more productive?
Man, there's so many webinars from the different, from anywhere from Napa, all your automotive manufacturers usually just offer so many different avenues, things for you to look at to keep you abreast and keep you abreast of things that's going on, Okay. So now it's the internet is just endless information. Anything you need, anything you want, it's there. Just basic, it's the internet. That's the thing that's going to keep you most abreast and of everything that's going on.
Now, is there a book that you would recommend to our Memphis go-getters to listen to that maybe has inspired you, or just a book that you may have read or recently reading that we can share with our audience?
There's nothing in particular that I've read, a book that is mostly with me. It'd be just different articles. So not really a whole book that would, I could say that inspired me or would inspire. It's just, it's usually it's short things or short stories about people that usually motivate you, and and you just realize that, it can be done.
Okay.
And it's just those short, excerpts, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, was there one person that, biography that you read that you normally think about, or?
Well, one guy that I can just think of off the top of my head is a guy that built this company called Original Parts Group. And he started off selling parts in his garage. And now Original Parts Group is one of the biggest parts industries for vintage cars in the world.
Wow.
And this guy started buying used parts and swapping used parts in his garage. And now that's a like I said, $1 billion company now, the Fortune 500.
Wow. So that's definitely motivation. Hey, you started in the garage, and a lot of times, you hear those stories about, the guys from Google starting in the garage, but you never think about, someone in the auto parts industry starting their business in the garage, and then I guess blowing it up to be, I'm assuming a multi-million-dollar company right now.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's so easily done, that, people will they look for something that's, gonna pop out osmosis, but when you put that work in and good product, and you be respectful to people, it'll all come together.
So let me ask this question for you, and I call this one of my tougher questions. But if you had $100 to spend to be a super successful entrepreneur, I want to know how you would invest that money. Now, there are 4 areas that you can invest that money into. 1 is leadership. 2 is hustle. 3 is education. And 4 is networking. So if you had $100, how would you spend that money to become a successful entrepreneur? Would you focus on leadership, hustle, education, or networking? How would you spend that money?
Networking.
Okay. How much would you put there?
$100.
All right. Well, you gotta tell me why. You putting it all on black, huh?
Yeah. All on black. Yeah. So, because networking, usually you're going to be in touch with somebody that's doing what you're trying to do. And I don't think there's going to be a better piece of information or education that you can get through a book or advertising, none of that, versus talking and somebody giving you that hands-on information that to walk the road that you're trying to travel. They're going to tell you where all the potholes are, where the lane changes need to be, where you need to detour. That's it, I mean, like traveling down the road of life. I mean, you go and there's bumps and curves and shit, but if I done been down that road, I'm going to tell you, well, Darnell, hey, stay to the right when you get to the 5 mile mark, because what? The road got potholes over there. So, you're not going to fall in the same potholes that I fell in.
Right. That makes sense.
So I think the networking, usually, that's probably going to be one of your better things, because that person going to probably put you a little bit ahead of, say, some of the things where you try and find out by yourself or on your own, which is probably going to save time. If you save time, you're going to save money.
Well, hey, Memphis Go-Getters, you heard it right there. Networking is very key. I remember hearing someone say, net worth equals your network. Mm-hmm. So depending on who you networking with, that's going to impact your money.
Most definitely.
So, Kerry, as we wrap up, just a few more questions here. What does Memphis success mean to you?
I mean, I would think it means a lot to me for the simple fact that I'm a native Memphian, born, bred, lived here the whole time. And I think there are probably some of the most successful people that I know are right here in Memphis. Mm-hmm. So, you know, people look at other cities and say this and say that. But, you know, if you sit back and look at the city of Memphis, it has the same things, the same opportunities, and the same goals as most cities. So, you know, to me, Memphis success is real prevalent to me because I guess, you know, I love the city of Memphis.
Okay, awesome. Now, is there one last words of advice that you can share to our Memphis go-getters? And is there just one thing that they could focus on today that you can give them to look at?
I guess the one thing is to really, you know, have your plan and to write things down. That's the number one thing. You need to put it on paper because, you know, these ideas, these thoughts and things like that, they come and go. So make sure you write them down and really have you some plan that you can go back and look at and try and put your dream, you know, and make it come to, you know, reality. So the thing is, you know, write it down and get you a game plan on where you're going, where you want to start and where you want to end up at.
All right. That is awesome. And Kerry, if you can, just share with us how we can find more about your company, your location, your website, and so forth.
Okay. You can find more about Superior Custom Street Rods. You go to superiorcustomstreetrods.com. And we're located at 558 Suzette, Memphis, Tennessee, 38126 in downtown Memphis. You know, pretty much open to the public. Come by, take a look, see what we do. Go to the website, like again, superiorcustomstreetrods.com, and take a look around and see what you can see, and let us know if you like it.
All right, awesome. Memphis Go-Getters, once again, this has been an exciting interview. Kerry definitely has dropped tons of information. One takeaway for me has been networking. You know, we definitely need to up our networking game, make those connections, attend those association and industry events. So, hey, that was very valuable for me, and I know for several others who are listening tonight. So, with that being said, Memphis Go-Getters, remember to please rate and review our show. Also, go to memphissuccess.com and look for Kerry Thomas, and we will have a lot of the show notes and information that he shared on this interview here. And always join our Memphis Success Go-Getters community. Sign up today, receive some free information, get the latest updates on the next interview that we release. And always, Memphis Success Go-Getters, as I always say, dream big, take action, and make money!
Thank you for listening to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Sign up now at memphissuccess.com to become a Memphis Go-Getter and receive all the latest information and free gifts. Because your success is Memphis Success.